session. Recording has been started and this will be shared with you guys after this class. Okay. So yesterday we were talking about Linux. So do we have any questions so far, like what we are going to do, why we are going to perform this thing, why we are going to learn this? Any questions so far? Keshav?
Yes, I have a question.
Please.
Actually, I have tried to create the instances, okay? But I'm getting the same error which we have received yesterday. Okay, so I need to understand again.
Okay. So since I deleted my instance yesterday, I terminated that. Once again, I'll have to create a new one. And that is the another purpose, to create instance before every single class. That hardly takes 2 minutes, but yes, we get to know how to create. So this is the name which I'm going to give for instance, Linux box. Now this is a particular AMI. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image, like which OS we are going to select for this particular virtual machine or instance, you can call that. I'll select here Red Hat 9. This is instance type, like how much amount of hardware I'm going to allocate, like 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM, and keep this thing in mind whenever you are going to create it. So it should be lying under free tier. Otherwise, you will have to pay for it. Then after the key pair login, what was the name we defined yesterday? Linux, July 23.
23.
So we need not to create a new key pair once again for this. Security group we created yesterday. So we will not create new one. We will select existing security group. So there are two. One is default, one launch wizard 1. So this is the one which we have created yesterday. We are going to select same. We are not going to modify the configuration part of like storage configuration part. We are not going to modify that. And that is it. How many servers we want to create? Just one. And hit on launch. So the state of this instance is pending. It means it will be in running state within a while only. We need to wait till then. Now it is running. So obviously once it comes into running state, we are able to log into it. But still, if you want to wait, maybe you can wait for 30 seconds more.
But the status check is initializing.
Yes, it will take approx 3 to 4 minutes to come into healthy. It checks two things. The very first thing, it is checking the underlying hardware, like the particular hardware where this machine has been created. And second thing, it is checking for all the checks for this particular virtual machine as well. So I'll come here onto this SSH client. This is SSH client. I'll copy this and I'll open my terminal. Paste it here, hit enter. It is going to ask me to verify the fingerprint. I'm ready to log into that machine. I'll say yes. And that's it. C2-user is the username. This is private IP address of this machine, or you can call that host name. Are we clear with that, guys?
Yes, I'm clear now.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Clear.
sir.
Okay, so once again, couple of things which I would like to recall, and I would like you to please understand with me once again. So this is the username which is used in order to log into this particular machine, and even not then. So whatever user we are using to operate this operating system, this is the username. The first action, this is the host name of this machine. This tilde symbol represents the current user, whoever is the user, like being displayed here. If this is the symbol, it means this is the home directory of the user. And what does this dollar display mean, guys?
Normal user.
A normal user. Okay, so today we are going to begin with command line. If anyone has any question anytime, you all are most welcome to ask a question. And do not feel that if I ask question, would I like how would I sound? So every question is a great question. Do not feel that what would other feel about that question, and how would you be like putting yourself. No, don't worry about it. Whatever you have in your mind, please ask.
Yeah, Lokendra ji, I have a question.
Please go ahead, sir.
It's regarding that SSH fingerprint. Is it different from keygen, like what public-private key pairing?
Yes.
Or is it the same?
No, it is
Because
different.
what I studied, I thought that it is kind of like verifying that we are going to the same server.
No, it is not
the
same
replacement
server.
of like a certification in HTTP or something.
It is another way.
Okay.
It is something else. We will discuss in detail about that. Okay. So right now, guys, the very first command which we should know. Let us say if I run a command date, I want to know the current date and time of this operating system. So what will I do here is, I will run the command date. So it is showing Sunday, July, and it is showing like July 9, 0338. What does that mean? The time standard is in UTC. That is some other time zone which is configured within this operating system. I'll tell you sometime later when we will start talking about like how do we configure all these things. So I'll tell you like how to change this particular as well. But yes, for now you can understand that if you want to see the time, then definitely guys, you can see that with the help of date command. Why it is required? Because let us say, if you are working with such an organization which works for any financial institution and some kind of audits are taking place in that. So at the time of providing artifacts or at the time of providing the kind of documents, we are not only supposed to capture the configuration detail, but yes, we are supposed to share the timestamp of the system. So that is why in which particular format the artifact has to be shared. Let us say I'm trying to show that how many users are there. Just for example, forget about the command I'm going to run. So this is the kind of command which I have executed here. But how will you be able to display at what time these configurations were available? Moreover, this is the host name of this. I can really modify this. So how do we share artifact to the auditors? First of all, we run a command date. Then, guys, there is a particular format in Linux operating system. After the semicolon, we can execute multiple commands in a sequence. We can run multiple commands. Okay, so let us say now I want to check the like IP address of this particular server. IPR, this is the command to check IP address. I'll be telling you about what is IP address, how do we configure it, what is private IP, what is public IP, what are the different series of IP addresses. We will be discussing about for sure. Then after the command which I executed earlier,
server YouTube lo server జ్ఞానం చెప్తాడు.
Can you please mute yourself if not speaking? Okay, fine. So let us say I just wanted to show here root. So why I am trying to run this particular command? Reason being, I want to show that at what time the particular artifacts are captured, at what time, like what is the IP address from where these artifacts are captured, and this is the command which I am going to execute. So at the time of sharing artifact, we are supposed to capture our entire screen. Moreover, we are supposed to share our own system. Let us say I'm working on my laptop, right? So there is a particular timestamp coming in, Sunday, 9 July, 9:12 a.m. So everything has to be captured here, right? So what does that show? This is showing current timestamp of the operating system with a particular time zone. Then it is showing the IP address details, and finally that particular output which was required. So this is why we are trying to see that how do we run date command and what is the use of date command. So first of all, in order to check whether your system is up to date with the right date and time, it should not be there that your system is utilizing some different time, and the kind of transactions what are taking place on your operating system, so these are being logged with some wrong timestamp. Getting point? Guys, are we clear with this?
Sir,
Yes,
sir, why did it came, sir?
Yes.
Sir, I have. Sir, why did it came root symbol red, sir?
No, I did not execute this command with root.
Okay, sir.
So this is a kind of word which I wanted to show that this is a kind of output which I wanted to grab from, which I wanted to filter from this particular file. So forget about this for now, but yes, I'm trying to tell you that if you are working in a corporate environment and over there you are supposed to share kind of artifacts, so how would you be able to share those? What is the right way? Moreover, guys, keep this thing in mind, the command which can be executed by a normal user, so that command should never ever be executed by root, because there is a rule in IT organizations, or not only in IT, like all the organizations, least privileges. What does that mean? That if I can do anything with a normal privilege, so obviously I am not supposed to execute the command, or I shall not be like executing the task with privileged user. Like date command I can run with normal user. IPR command I can run with normal user. The same thing with grep, right? So the same command, let us say, if you remember yesterday, we became root for a while, sudo su hyphen, right? We executed this command. Moreover, I explained you as well. Sudo, it means super user do. We are trying to execute a command which super user can do, which like the kind of escalating privileges. Su means switch user. Which user we are selecting to switch? So guys, keep this thing in mind that if we are not defining any user, so by default our operating system is going to consider that user as root. If we don't, let us say, okay, let me execute that command once again here. So guys, if you see, same output is coming here, same output is being displayed. Do you find any difference here except the timestamp?
It's the same output.
Three particles.
So like everything remains same, but only the time is modified, because obviously we have taken 3 minutes just to understand that what we are trying to do. So my concern here was that when we can execute this command with normal user, so why do we need to become root for this? Are we clear with that? Okay, so now let's move ahead. So guys, the first command which we wanted to see here is that is known as date, like how to check the current date of this operating system. Next, if I want to see the date in a different format, let us say I do not want to see like it is Sunday, I just want to see the date, month and year. So there is a particular pattern, date plus percentage F. It is 2023, month is 7 and date is 9. So plus percentage F is the particular parameter. If you specify it here, we shall be able to change the the particular way it is displaying the output. Earlier, it was coming in different way. Like rather than printing 07, it was printing July. Then after, it was printing date in such a format, it was not showing like 09. Then after, the year was being printed, but in different at a different level. So what other parameters can we use? So in order to see like what other parameters are there, Linux operating system is designed in such a way that it is really helpful for those who are new to it. Let me give you example. So let us say there is a command date, just type in here -- help. So it is going to tell you each and everything, such as like if you want to convert, like you have some kind of time, so you can define like convert seconds since the epoch time. Epoch time means 010190. So keep this thing in mind. This is such a time which is known as epoch time, and Linux operating system considers that every single let us say we will be seeing here that we will be seeing going forward that this operating system is showing some different time, maybe in days, maybe in seconds. So how would you convert that time to date? Let me show you one example here. So guys, this is a file where you okay, I need to mute Redmi. There is some unwanted echo. So guys, what are these? What are these numbers? Anyone have an idea about?
PID number?
Come again?
PID number, sir?
Someone has given, okay, so there is saying PID. No, it is not PID.
It might be passwords.
IP addresses and passwords.
IP address does not look like this. Anyone?
It is encrypted.
Password properties, no, it is not.
It tells about the last password change.
Warning, inactive account expiry, like that.
So Mohit Dixit, this does not show the last password change. This is something else. What is this number I'm talking about? And what is this number?
Sir, user IP number, sir.
Now, how many days the password will expire?
It's the Unix time.
It starts on the date.
Can you hear me?
1970.
See, these are user ID and group IDs. This 0 and this 0. This one is user ID and this one is group ID. This 2 is user ID and 2 is group ID. Let us say if I talk about this 1000 is user ID and the second 1000 is group ID. User ID and group ID can be same or can be different. If you want to see the real example here, you can see here, this is the like user ID and this is group ID. User IDs and group IDs should always be same, is not a rule. These can be same or these can be different. You can see here. You can see here. You can see here. Right? But yes, every single user is okay, when the password will expire. Okay, yes. So these can be same or these can be different. Let us go back. So I was trying to show you the kind of like -- help option. So guys, this particular number, that number which we were seeing there, so that is number of days since this particular date. Number of days since this particular date. So that particular number is known as epoch date. Linux operating system starts calculating the date and time from this particular date. So if you like reduce like number of years since that day, so you will get to know the real date. So and how do we convert that? So this is the particular way like how we can convert that particular time into human readable time. Okay. So this is a kind of example which we shall be utilizing going forward. Right? So this is just only one example. There are a lot of parameters which has been printed by this particular -F1 help option. So how do we see? Let us say if you want to supply any kind of data string, you can do that. For example, if you have any example file where date is mentioned, so you can give a reference like with -F command. We will see like how do we define references and all. So now percentage, what does that mean? A literal percentage. Like if you want to use any percentage with date command, so you need to define percentage 2 times. For example, if you just want to print like weekly, like weekday name, such as Sunday, Monday, you want to print that way. So you can use the date with this particular command. How we are going to use it? Let me show you that. Like date. Getting point? So did it display the date exactly? No. What it is trying to show here is only the like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So whenever this particular command will be executed, so based on the day of that particular date, it will display only like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that type of time it will print. Reason being, because right now we are just trying to see that how we are going to perform it, what we are trying to get out of this particular command output. So this particular word known as written as date. So this is a command and this is a kind of option. Like what exact, like how do we want to utilize this command? So there are a lot of parameters available. Like we can define here like new, you can go to new line, you can print time in nanoseconds, you can type like local equivalent to other like AM or PM. For example, like you want to like print time in 24 hours time, right? Maybe like you want to print time, same HH, like percentage H, M or S. So rather than defining like hour, minutes and seconds, so you can define with percentage and the capital T. So multiple options are there based on your requirement. You will be able to contribute. Let us say there is a requirement where you want to print only year. So every option is available here, which you can utilize in order to configure your operating system in a proper manner. Are we clear with that, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The same way, this is for like date command. Now the next thing here is with cal. Cal means calendar. This is for calendar. Guys, what will be date? Let us say I want to know in 2027, what will be the day on 1st of Jan? Where is it? We can print the calendar of any year. Are we clear with that, guys?
1947, sir. Cal 1947.
Here it is.
Yes, sir.
So it has like 1000 years of calendar. Now let us say I want to see like what other things we can perform with the help of this. So same thing, cal -help, and it will print the kind of options available. --F1, like so only a single month. You want to see 3 months calendar, you can see that. If you want to define -N, so you can define like how many months you want to see. If you want to like span the date when displaying multiple months, you can do that. Now, if you want to see Sunday as first day of the week, you can define like this, cal -s. So it will start displaying Sunday as first week of the day, like first day of the week. If you want to see like Monday should be first day of the week. So now it is showing Monday as first day of the week. So guys, based on your understanding, what is the first day of the week? What is
Monday.
Monday.
But since when we started learning English, so we were always taught like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right?
Okay, Sunday.
But why is that so? When we start our week,
Sir, CAL-S, sir.
that is just a command. I'm asking a general question. So why we were taught to start the day with Sunday? Because when we started learning these days, the name of these days, so we were taught like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like that. So why Sunday was kept as first day of the week? A general question, not part of Linux.
Holiday.
So it could be declared maybe on Monday as well. Why Sunday? Multiple organizations are there where like 24/7 works goes on. So it is not always necessary that everyone has to be on leave on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Just a general question, not part of Linux, guys.
Sunday is relief day, sir.
Leave it. So like we can
Yeah,
utilize cal
because
command.
of that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because of that, Monday is a very powerful day. Yesterday,
Why?
before 2 days, we have already rest.
It is not about like power of the day. It is just a day.
Just like Saturday and Sunday.
Whatever
We
you
are
want to consider.
rest.
But okay, leave it. So we will go into other direction. So
Yeah, okay.
right now, what we are trying to show here is these are multiple options which we have, and how do we get to know about those options? So this is a particular way we can get to know about. Then like the command here is cal -help, right? Obviously, how will you become more more confident about running Linux commands? You will have to practice again and again with these particular options. And the particular best way here is why do you do that? Like you will scroll up or down, then after you will execute command. What you can do here is you can open up a new terminal, a new tab here. Go to your console, copy command, come back here and log in again. Isn't it a better way to do practice? Like at one location, you are seeing the options here, and another place you are trying to execute the command. Isn't it better option? Obviously, we trust that every single thing, whatever we have seen at this particular location at one place, we shall not be able to recall each and everything once we come out of this particular, right? But what can be done? We can open two tabs here, and from one tab, we will understand the command, and on second tab, we will try to execute it. Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Mute yourself if not speaking. That will help. Okay, so right now what we are trying to see here is like how do we use basic commands like date command, cal command, and others. Now after this, whenever we start working, so there is a particular command which has to be executed by every Linux administrator. This is really mandatory command to be executed, and mandatory means not like it is written somewhere, but based on my personal experience, I call it mandatory command. Why is that? Because whenever we try to perform any command or whenever we try to perform any operation, we should be knowing exactly where we are. PWD, before starting your work, First of all, we are supposed to execute this command, and after this, one more command has to be executed. Reason being, let us say there are 5 users working in parallel onto any operating system. How will you get to know about that? Let us say there is a file. For example, this is a file. Let us say etc fstab. This is a file. What does this particular file contain? We will discuss later. But let us say if one user has opened this particular file and working on it, how will you get to know that you are not supposed to open the file in parallel if some other user is already working on it? Anyone? How will you get to know that is there any other user who is also working on the same file? And if the person is working, then you should not be accessing this file.
With the process ID, sir, it gets locked.
Process ID will not help.
Sir, cat
Fuser-U mount band.
Pardon?
Fuser-U mount band.
No, actually.
Sir, cat/etc password.
Who?
No, Ben, LSWAP does not work.
Who? I mean,
No.
WHO.
No, only W command. So knowingly, I executed ping command here and I want to see that who is doing what on this operating system. So if I run W command here, so what will I get to know? There are 2 users logged in. Both users have done SSHD command, right? This command is executed at this particular time, like for how long this particular session has been idle. This particular user, like this at this particular terminal, the last command was executed before a couple of moments only, so that can be done here, that can be seen here. Moreover, it will not only tell you about that. So right now, like only one user has logged in onto 2 different terminals. Second thing, you will get to know about the current time of the operating system. You will get to know for how long the system has been up and running. Right now it is only 28 minutes, so that's why it is showing 28. Otherwise, what it would have displayed here, like 47 days, 28 hours, and like I say, 23 minutes. Kind of. How many users are currently logged into this particular operating system, and what is load average of this operating system? So this much information this command will tell you. Why is that so? Because guys, when multiple people are there in a team and they have to work on the same operating system, so they should be in there should be a kind of synchronization before you start working. That is why I say personally that first of all check your current working directory, that where you are currently. Second thing, you need to check that how many users are currently operating onto this particular server. Moreover, you will get to know like what command they are doing, what command they are executing it. Now one more thing is here. User root executed this ping command. Why it is not being displayed there? Knowingly I executed this command. Why this is not being displayed? Friends, is it not an interesting question?
I think who are currently accessing, maybe that will not.
It is.
The running terminal or running thing, it will not be shown here. Maybe the existing one who are existed, like terminate the process or terminate the thing, then it will only show that the thing, I think so.
Not exactly, Sudhir. See, there is a particular word written here, priv. What does that mean?
Private.
No, Rajesh. It is
Previous.
not. It is known as privileged. It means the user is a normal user, but has privilege to become root as well. Now, what does that mean that has access to become root as well? So the user when logged in, so user logged in via SSH command, and now user is privileged and can become some other user and try to execute some other commands. Getting point? This means privileged user. User has access equal to root. So this word shows the privileged access for this particular user. So what command was executed by this user? Obviously SSH, because in order to log into this operating system, this user executed only SSH command, right? That is why only SSHD process was executed by this user in order to access it. That's why it is showing. Let us say if there is a physical server or there is a particular virtual machine where you can log in directly without doing SSH. So in that case, whatever will be the exact command being executed by that user, that will be displayed here. So these are very basic thing, guys. Like first of all, we need to execute a command known as pwd, like print working directory or your present working directory. Then w command in order to check who is doing what on this particular operating system. Yes, one more thing I would like to tell you guys. Couple of users were telling here, like we can use who command. Who? So who is going to tell you the same thing, but with limited information. Like it is going to tell you about like who is logged into this particular system. Moreover, when they logged in and what they are doing. Like from where they logged in, not what they are doing. Like what, like load average and other stuff. This particular command will not show. In case if you want to see just the user name, no other information, run the command who am I. So who am I? Root. So currently this command is being executed by user root. If I log out from here, like there are two ways. Either you can press Control and D button, Control and D key, you can press here, or you can type here exit. I'll copy and paste the same command again. Right now, what it is displaying? EC2-user. And why is that so? Because right now my username is EC2-user. I have logged out like being root. Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. Now one more thing I want to tell you. So right now we are just trying to see very, very basic things.
Hello.
Let us say if I want to know that what is the host name of this operating system, like as we all have a name, the same way within an organization, like at enterprise level, every single operating system has a host name. So the command to check that is host name. This host name is given automatically to this particular computer. That is why there is a naming convention which is given, like AP South 1. AP means Asia Pacific, South 1 is the particular region which is known as Mumbai. If you see here, if you click on this, like Asia Pacific, Mumbai is given this particular name. AP mean, what does AP mean? Asia Pacific, South. There are multiple other as well, so that's why it is kept in South. So it is like Northeast, Northeast, Southeast. So different regions are there. So AP South 1, this is the particular name given to Mumbai region. That is why it is coming here AP South 1. So where this machine is created, we can easily understand that now.
Yes, sir.
Guys, can we understand where this machine is created?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now what is the component? Obviously, this is a kind of compute instance, and this is internal. This name is defined internally. What does that mean? This name will not be accessible over internet. Shukriya. Okay. So this particular machine is created, and this host name is like this host name can be resolved internally. No one from internet no one from internet shall be able to access this machine with this particular name, right? Moreover, this is the particular IP assigned to this machine. So how do we check that? Hostname -I. So hostname command does not only tell you the particular name of this host, but if you use some other options here, some other parameters along with this command, so it can let you know the IP address of the host. Let us say there are multiple commands to check the IP address of an operating system. But let us say there is a requirement. You want to know only IP address. So the very first command which we executed, that was IPR. So it did not only display the IP address, but there is some other additional information which actually I did not want to see. What is the information here? So default via, it means it is showing you the particular gateway of this machine. It is showing dev. It is showing the Ethernet type, ETH0. It is showing the protocol, like how the IP address is allocated to this particular machine. So this is showing DHCP. What does DHCP mean, guys?
Dynamic host control.
Dynamic host control protocol.
Okay. What is the port number of DHCP?
6768.
And why two ports are used being for the single concept?
One for server and one for client, sir.
So dynamic host configuration protocols.
Which is fine. But my question here is, why two ports are assigned to one protocol?
Sir, 68 for clients and 67 for server.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Keshav,
Yes, sir.
why two ports are assigned to DHCP?
No idea, sir. Don't have idea about it.
Very good.
Sir, IP to computer network dynamically, sir.
Okay, let me come on to it.
Sir, it's I think it's UDP protocol. That's why assigned two protocol for one is for server and one is for client.
It is not. Both the ports are given only to DHCP server. Okay. Let me tell you guys, DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. For now, just understand that let us say if we have 10,000 hosts or 10,000 computers in our network, wherein we are pretty much sure that our user keeps on coming and going. For example, we are sitting in a cafe where free Wi-Fi is available. The cafe has a capacity of, let us say, 200 seats. So it is for sure that only 200 customers can come in and sit, and let us say 25 their internal staff members are there who are using their free Wi-Fi. So what if there are two ways to assign IP address to any computer? That can be static, like I have given an IP address to an individual user. User has configured that IP address and has gone away. So when that user leaves the place and new user walks into the particular cafe, so where from will I be able to provide new IP address to that particular guest or that particular machine which the particular guest has bring along with him or her, right? So DHCP is a protocol which provides solution for that. So it provides IP address on lease base. Now, what does that mean, lease base? So lease base means, let us say it will assign IP address to any host, maybe for 30 minutes only, or maybe for 1 hour, or whatever time of lease we define within DHCP. That is a configuration item that is configurable. So now let us say that we have configured DHCP in such a way that it will assign IP address to any host or any guest just for 1 hour. But let us say if customer would like to stay back into the particular cafe maybe for 4 hours. So will IP address get changed, which is assigned to that user? No, because the IP address is given on lease, and let us say, after every 45 minutes, it will check whether host is still there or not. So if host is still there, it will once again renew the same IP address to the same machine or same host. So IP address does not get changed until and unless the host remains into the network. As soon as host walks in for a half an hour, maybe host went out from the cafe maybe for half an hour. So there is no certainty, there is no surety when user comes back. So same IP address will be assigned to that user or that particular machine. Are we clear with that? So in order to utilize your IP address pool in more efficient manner, we prefer to configure the IP address onto those machines with the help of DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Second thing, what if there is a kind of server which is static to us, where IP address should not be changed? So in that particular case, we do not use protocol DHCP in order to define IP address. So we use static IP there. It means if we configure that IP address to that machine, that IP address cannot be assigned to some other devices. So all the IP addresses given to those machines remains static. Static means dedicated, you can call that. In other words, a dedicated IP address is given to host machine. Those like which are being utilized as server and where like fixed IP, yes, today you can call that fixed IP as well. So fixed IP address is given to the servers. Second thing, while you will be facing interview, and obviously like if you run this command, someone sees during interview, so someone may ask, can we assign fixed IP address to multiple servers with DHCP? Is it doable, guys? Can we assign
No.
IP address with DHCP to host? Host means the computer or server.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no.
So Ben is saying no, and someone is saying like Raj Kiran or maybe Keshav is saying yes.
Please repeat the question.
Can we assign fixed IP address, or you can call it static IP address, to our server?
Yes, we can assign, sir. We can assign.
Yes, we can do that. So guys, there is a concept known as MAC binding. There is a concept which is known as MAC binding. So every single machine has a kind of MAC address. Every single server has a MAC. MAC. This is not kind of MacBook. This is known as media access control.
It will be the physical address, I think.
Just a moment. The command itself is not given within this OS. Guys, what is this number?
This is the MAC address of the particular machine.
Yes. So guys, this is a kind of unique address which is assigned to every individual operating system. And guys, every single device belongs to any organization, belongs to any company. This address has to be different. This address cannot be same.
So this address is for a network interface or an operating system?
So this is a unique ID, like identity of any physical device or any virtual device. This works along with IP address. This is known as MAC address. Either you can call that hardware address. It is known as hardware address, or you can call that MAC address. Whatever you want, you can consider it. But this is unique. So we can bind this IP address within DHCP, and till the time this binding will be there inside DHCP server. So we are never going to see the IP address changing on that particular host. And what do we call it? MAC binding. So yes, Raj and other guys, whoever supported this particular stuff, that we can define a dedicated IP
That field
address.
is mandatory.
Pardon?
That field is mandatory. Hardware MAC address. /etc config network of a script under that hardware address is mandatory.
Yes. That is mandatory. Reason being, this is, let us say if you are working on a physical server, so by default that physical server and that particular LAN card has its own MAC address. And for example, if you are working on a virtual machine, so the particular underlying hardware remains responsible to assign a MAC address to virtual machine.
Okay, if you have two adapters are there, both are same hardware address, it's different.
Different. Every single LAN card will have a different MAC address.
Okay.
LAN means local area network.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Or that we call as NIC.
The loopback interface also have an MAC address.
Yes.
Loopback interface that also have a MAC address.
What is loopback?
That LO we find in this IP address command.
Loopback means the system itself it's have IP address like
Yes.
assigning.
To check this, let us say, how do we get to know that the LAN card which we are going to assign to this operating system is not faulty? So for self-testing, we assign a loopback address to the particular LAN card. Right now, even if we do not have loopback address, so that works. Reason being, nowadays we have smart LAN cards. But earlier, when LAN cards were not smart, so that address was necessary to be there. Okay. Let's move ahead. So,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, IMEI number is same as MAC address.
Pardon?
Sir, does IMEI number is same as MAC address?
See, IMEI numbers are allocated, especially in that particular case when you are using any device for communication only, like voice communication.
Okay.
But let us say, if you are using internet there, the MAC address will also be assigned to that.
Sir, we use yum install for bin infras right now.
I'll come
for
on to that.
loopback
Yeah,
address.
don't worry. Okay.
Okay.
So let us say we are trying to see, like there are multiple ways to check IP address. So if we see, like we were talking about hostname command, and I added -i here, so it started displaying me the IP address of it, right? So what other operations can be performed with this particular? So the particular same way remains. -help. We can define that here, like what we can do, like we can define a kind of alias, like if an IP address has multiple domain names, you can check that -b or -f boot. What does that mean? Set default hostname is not available. So you can define a kind of domain name, a kind of FQDN. FQDN means fully qualified domain name, such as www.google.com. That is known as FQDN, fully qualified domain name. And guys, if I call it google.com, is it FQDN? Is Google FQDN?
No, sir.
No, sir, it's domain name.
Google.com is domain name, and www.google.com is FQDN, or maybe let us say mail.google.com is FQDN, which is known as fully qualified domain name. So guys, if you see in this particular like options, there are multiple options which are available, which you can use, right? For example, you have kept kind of host names inside your, okay, this is a kind of bad thing which I have done. There is a bad feature of it. Like if I select any text and I just drag and drop it, it gets executed. This is feature of this Mac OS only. Okay, so we can see here, like if we have kept these host names in a file, so we can define that file name as reference, and host name will be picked from that particular file. So multiple options are available here in order to define the host name or in order to configure your host name on your operating system, right? Okay, so now what next we are going to see here? We have seen the host name as well. The very next thing which we want to see, let us say if I am working on an operating system, what happens in Windows? As we start logging to we log into any server, we are able to see the kind of files and directories being available in that particular file in that particular folder wherever you are. But in Linux, it does not happen. We have to execute a command for that. Do you see like anything is kept here within this particular, like what is my current working directory /root? Do you see anything is available here? Yes, guys. Do you see anything is available?
No.
Do you see
No,
anything
sir.
available here?
No, sir.
So ls command, ls
Long-
means list.
Long list.
So we can use ls command to check wherever you are. If you want to see if any file or directory is available at that location wherever you are, so you can execute a command which is known as ls. ls means list. Okay.
Long
The
list.
next thing which we are going to see here is ls-a. What does that mean? A means all. It could also be possible that there are some hidden files in the folder. Getting point? If there are hidden files available in the system, how do you check that? With -a. So yes, there are a couple of files if you see here. Getting point?
And sir, what is the difference between ls-la and ls-a?
Very good question. So L for long list. Okay, what is permission defined on this particular file? Every single file has something or the other permission set defined on it, right? So can you tell me what is the current permission defined for this particular file?
Current.
No? This is known as long list. ls-l is known as long list. It means it is not only telling you the particular file names, but it is also telling you what is the particular permission defined for this particular file. Now, what is the size of this particular file? When the file was created and when file was last modified. So this sort of information it is going to define. So it is known as long list. ls-l means long list. And in most of operating system, there is one other shortcut known as ll. So either you can run ls-la command or you can run ll-a command. Ll means long list. This is a kind of alias created for this command. This one, ls-l. So ll is an alias for this ls-l command. You can use anyone based on your requirement, whatever you feel comfortable with, you can execute the command. Okay. Now what next? When I run this command ls-l, okay, let's go with actual command ls-l. We are going to see this particular. So if you see these files are available, right? Now there is a particular thing. What are these two dots? There is single dot and there is two dot. What does that mean?
Hidden files.
Anyone?
Current working directory and the previous working directory.
Very good. So this dot is known as current working directory wherever I am right now. PWD is known as dot. So if I need to represent my current working directory, so I can define that here, such as, let me run a command. If you remember yesterday, we executed a command cp-rf/etc, let us say fstab file, and I want to copy that file within my current working directory. So either I'll have to define here like /root, right? Or I can define it like this. Will it work? Guys?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
it will go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what do we see? There is another file is created and there is no dot defined before it. What does that mean? So guys, keep this thing in mind. If we want to make any file hidden, if we want to, let us say we have created a normal file which is visible with ll command, right? So if we want to make it hidden file, so we need to put a dot before its name. So every file which begins with a dot becomes a hidden file. I'll repeat my words once again. Every single file which begins with a dot with its name, it becomes a hidden file. Why all these files are hidden? Because there is a dot before every file name. Why this particular file is not hidden? Because there is no dot before it. So it means this is an interview question as well. Like, how do we create a hidden file? For those who are beginners, for obviously for experienced when these sort of questions are not discussed. But yes, for those who are beginners and maybe up to 3-4 experience, these are normal questions which usually people prefer to ask, like how do we create a hidden file? So the answer here is, while creating a file, we put a dot before the file name and that becomes a hidden file. Okay. Now, once again, let us go back to our original thing. ls-la. We are being able to see that all the files which are available in this file directory is available. Now, this is a particular thing. I am not going to consume these particular two directories. So what will I do here is I want to list only those files which are usable for me. Yes, guys. Keshav, I want to print only these files which are highlighted. I do not want to print these two.
-L, capital A, sir.
Yes, you are right. Capital A. Capital A option is going to be useful. These two dots, like dot and dot dot, like dot means current working directory and dot dot means previous directories. Like our parent directory, this particular double dot shows our parent directory, right? So cd dot means current working directory or cd dot dot means previous directory. So guys, those who might have worked with Windows, so there was a command cd dot dot. Have you ever executed this command in Windows? Guys?
Yes, sir.
So whoever
They
has
don't have
gone,
space between dot dot.
whoever has gone through Windows operating system, so the person must definitely have gone through this particular or must have executed this command, and the command is cd dot dot. It means to go back to our previous directory or to go back to our
One directory back.
Okay. Now, if I run a command cd, what does that mean? Wherever I am, let us say I am somewhere here, etc says config network -script.
So just now you say how to be create a hidden file.
I'll come on to it, don't worry. So for now, like, it is not the question that how do we create hidden files. That answer has already been given. Just put a dot before a file name. Now the question is, how do we create files?
Okay, sir.
Yes. So let us say currently I'm working in this particular directory. Now I want to go back to user like my home directory. What will I do? Either I'll execute this particular command.
Put the till.
Any
We
question,
using
guys?
till symbol.
Okay. There are two ways. Either I can define a tilde symbol here. It will take me to my home directory. Or if I do not define even tilde, it will then even take me to my home directory. Just wherever you are. Now I want to go back to the same directory where previously I was working. CD and hyphen. Where I am right now, /root. I want to go back to the same directory where I was working before, CD and hyphen. So why I'm telling you these very basic commands? So guys, the reason here is I have seen multiple Linux administrators within my career. They have to type in the same command once again. Let us say sometimes they will type in like /root. Now they want to go back to the same place. They will type here like etc this config network script. Right? They type in the command like this. Getting point?
Yes.
So isn't it better, like if we know the shortcuts of it, wherever you are, if you want to go to your previous directory, you can directly switch in, and it's not like it will take you to your home directory only. Let us say now I want to go to /temp. There is some other directory /tmp. So what we can do here is now I can switch between temp and network script directory.
So can we use directly CD/?
See, in that particular case, you are defining a directory here. But what I'm trying to tell you here is, if you have to jump between two directories very frequently, so you can use this parameter CD hyphen. Moreover, it is not just like you can go back like this. You can go back like this as well. CD .. // This way as well you can go back. Like how many directories you want to go back to CD .. // like this way you can do it. Getting point? So CD command is basically used to change the directory. Now when we are here, so let us see how many files are here. ls-l. Okay, this is the particular file. These are the particular files which are available here. But there is a long list of these files. I'm not able to read these files. So guys, keep this thing in mind. Whenever there is a very long list of output, long list of file names, what we can do here, this particular is known as pipe symbol. This is on the top of your enter button. This is known as pipe symbol. We place this one slash. So if we want to place pipe on any command, so we need to press the same button with shift. Right? Okay. So ls-l, then pipe. Now more. Now what will it do? More. Keep this thing in mind. It will start displaying you all the files from the beginning. And obviously, you can hit enter and it will start scrolling up line by line. If you hit enter, it will scroll line by line. If there is a situation where a very long list of output is there and you want that the output should be readable enough, so what will you do? You will place more over here, and if you hit enter, so these particular directories or files will start going up and you will be able to read the output in a proper manner. Now if you want to go through it very fast, so you can type in here space bar. Space bar means one page at a time. Now, what does that mean, one page at a time? So there is a command more in order to hold the output. Let us go back and see what happens if I do not place that more here. It will display the output within fraction of seconds. Now, if I go back here and I type in a command, like obviously those Linux administrators who are aware of Linux basic commands, they must be thinking of that why I did not use less here. So guys, if I type in here less, I type in here capital G. So if you see here, if I hit enter, so there is a particular word written at the end of this particular output, which is known as END, E-N-D. So I need to press one additional key. Maybe I need to press Q button. I need to press Q in order to quit from this output. Once again, I'm stuck here. My console is not free. But guys, if I type in here more, so once I'll reach at end of this, so my terminal gets free automatically, and obviously I am able to type in the other command before hitting one additional stop. Before, like without hitting any additional stop on my keyboard, I'm able to execute any command, whatever I want. So there is one advantage of it. Moreover, it is not like you can, like if you are running this particular command like this, ls-l, then you need to pipe hold, then you can use less command. So if there is a text file which you want to open, so you can read that file with less. How? Let us say etc services. If any file has a lot of lines, you want to read that, so you can read that file with the help of this command, which is known as less. You do not want to modify that. You do not want to make any modification that within that file. So you can open that file with less command itself. You can read the output of that file with less. The same way, you can read the file, you read the output of any file with more command. Now, why did I select only this particular file, guys? There is a particular thing which I would like to highlight. Do you see here? TCP mux. What is this? This is a service name. What is the particular port number does it use? Port number 1. Does it work on TCP or UDP? It supports both TCP and UDP. So if someone is going to ask you that, what is use of port number 1? Guys, why do we use port number 1?
So it's used for ping command.
Port number 1.
I think so.
But here it is written something else, TCP multiplexer.
Init process ID.
Okay, leave it. I'm not going to tell you that right now. Okay, so if you go over here, this line by line, so you will get to know, like there is a particular service name known as Echo that works on port number 7, works with TCP and UDP both. Discards this instead, daytime, QD. Okay, there was a question like why 2 ports are assigned here. Port number 21 and 20 and 21, both are assigned to here, to FTP protocol. There are 2 protocol, guys, which we need to keep in mind. There is a protocol known as FTP data. And there is a particular program for FTP. If you want to go for authentication and authorization, keep this thing in mind, guys. This is very important. If you want to go for authentication and authorization, then we need to connect on port number 21. But once your connection is established, so in order to transfer data from one server to another or from server to client, we use port number 20. Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
So we use port 20 for transferring data on FTP protocol, and we use port number 21 for authentication and authorization, because obviously there are so many websites where you need to supply your credential like your username and password in order to connect. Although FTP is not a secure protocol, so these two ports are assigned. Port number 22 is assigned for SSH. If you remember, yesterday we were trying to open port number 22 on that security group. When we configured that machine, so we were trying to access that machine on that virtual machine, that instance, whatever you want to call it, you can give it any name, on to port number 22. So if I go down a little more, most of us are aware of SMTP, like simple mail transfer protocol. What is the port number being used?
25.
25. And we use LMTP?
24.
DHCP, 2 ports are assigned. So if we talk about DHCP, but over here one more C is assigned, the protocol gets changed itself. DHCPC. Do you see that here?
Yes, sir.
This is why 2 different ports are assigned, because the service is boot PS and boot PC. So DHCP works. The particular DHCP is the protocol. Now there are 2 things: either it is for server or it is for like client. There is a particular process known as DORA. Anyone aware of that? DORA process in DHCP? DORA. There is a particular sequence like how an IP address is assigned. How an IP address is assigned to a client. So that sequence utilizes like both the ports. Okay, not a problem. Let's move ahead. So right now, guys, what we are trying to see, that how do we read a file? The same way we can read the file with more as well. But when we will reach at end of this particular file, so more command will not hold us, and it will not demand to supply any key press to come out of this particular. But as soon as we will reach at end of this particular file, so it will automatically take us out of it. This is a very long file. So, okay, this is also very interesting thing. So I said this is a very long file. How do we identify it is a long file or short file? Yes, guys. How do we identify it is a long file or short file?
No idea, sir.
LL, then the file name. Second thing, if I like, what is the size of this file, guys?
Six MB.
LL-H, it is showing the particular file size in kilobytes now. It means H for human readable. Okay. If I want to see ls-l, there is a command which is very popular, ls-l, long list, remove the services. Now, I want to see the output in human readable format, ls-h, I can press, and obviously it will display the size in human readable format. Now, if you see, the output is coming in alphabetical order. The output is coming here in alphabetical order. if I want to reverse it, ls-lhr. If you see the very first line which was coming at the bottom side earlier, now I can see that line is being printed at the top. yum.repos.d. This is the particular file which was coming at the bottom side. And now this is the particular file which is coming on the top. And the line which was coming at the top, that is coming in bottom. It means the output displaying sequence has been reversed. So why do we use ls-lr? To reverse the particular sequence, like how we are trying to display the output of this particular command. Okay, if I define here t, what will it do?
Based on time.
Obviously based on time. So if I define here, so if you now in this particular case, this particular sequence will go away. This particular sequence will go away. Why it is so? Let us say it is showing P, it is showing G, it is showing P, it is showing H, it is showing S, it is showing A here. So what is it? What is happening here in this particular operating system right now? So guys, we need to understand right now the R option is like override, like the particular T option has overridden option R. It means R and T cannot work together. And if you define both options together, then T will have preference. T means based on time. I want to sort these files based on the time, like what particular files are accessed very recently. So those files will come later on. So guys, what is the time right now? 4:53 and 33. And if you see the particular output here, 4:40. And today itself. Getting point?
Yes.
Okay. So now let us say I want to change the host name of this particular computer. So first of all, we need to see where the host names are kept. There is a file etc host name. This is a particular file where from my computer reads or my server reads the host name and displays you whenever you log in back here, right? So this is the particular file. How I can do that? Just type in a command cat. Cat command is basically used in order to read the output of any file. This is really critical command. Do not use until you have expertise. I have, so I'm going to use it. Don't worry. So it will first of all like blank this particular data. It will remove the data from the file. And now whatever data I'm going to keep it. Let us say Linux box. Hit enter and type in Control D. It will come out of this particular stuff and your hostname has been modified. Clear? We need to press Control D in order to come out from this particular system. Okay. Now what next? You can ask me a question. Why is this not changed yet?
Because I think session is login now. If you log out, it will change.
Keep this thing in mind. This is changed on runtime, but it will get applied then when you will log out and you will log in again. This is a permanent hostname changing mechanism. So whenever we log out and log in again, so this particular will get changed. Now it is showing Linux box. Are we clear with that, guys?
Can you repeat, Lokesh?
So we need to log out and log in again in order to see the changes. Let us say earlier some different hostname was coming here. Now there is some different hostname which I have kept inside this particular file, etc hostname file. So if I want to see the changes, then I need to log out and log in again. Obviously, there is some other way as well that you can see the changes in real time without logging out and logging again. There's a command known as source, and then you can define the particular file. So based on this particular, there are some different parameters going to be used. So there is, like, if you want to see like changes in real time, then source command can be used to make you you need not to log out and log in again in order to see the changes. But there are some different parameters, so I do not want you guys to be confused right now. We will see it later on. But yes, that is quite possible. Okay, so we have seen how to change host name, right? We have seen how to check IP address with the help of hostname command. But what is it? It is showing 2 IP addresses now. Earlier it was showing only 1. So what has been changed on this? If
IP6 and IP4 both addresses are there.
Yes, you are right. So what happens here is, by default, whenever we execute hostname -i command, so all the available interfaces wherever and whatever IPs are configured, it will display all. But if we type in here capital I, it will display only your like IPv4 IP address only. There are 2 different series of IP addresses, IPv4 and IPv6. So this IP address is related to IPv6 and this is related to IPv4. We will discuss more about networking section, such as what is IP address and what are the categories of IP address, what is private IP, what is public IP, what are the series of IPs. So that way we are going to discuss, but not today, going forward.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
Right now, what we are trying to see here is that
I
how
have a
do
question.
we become familiar with Linux environment. Very basic commands we are going to see. Like we are trying to see ls command, ls-lrth. We can define a directory after that. Moreover, we can change the directory, right? Then we can run the command there. The same output is going to come without defining that particular directory. Now, guys, if you see, resolve.conf file has been modified. My resolve.conf file has been modified. Host name, I have recently modified. Right? Shadow file has recently been modified. So what we are trying to do here is, we are trying to print the particular files which are changed very recently. Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move ahead. So what is next here? So right now we are going to see that sometime I go inside /temp, sometime I go inside /etc, sometime I go inside /root. What is this happening? What is this slash?
Home directory of the root.
It's the root directory.
Root mount point.
Slash is the system directory.
Root, very good.
Root home directory, sir.
Root directory.
There are a lot of confusions. Even sometimes I feel confused. That's why I'm asking you guys. Please help.
Sir, slash is
point
the system
where-
directory to all system in slash.
The parent
So,
directory.
Linux has a directory structure in that they have parent and child structure will be there.
Sir, king of root, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
Is the directory where whole file system is mounted.
Okay. Any other?
So change directory.
Change directory. Okay. When I did not say anything as to whether, why would I say anything to you? Whatever you are saying, I'll say okay. Because even I'm confused, guys. Any other answer? Raj Kiran.
No, sir.
Okay, cool. Let me tell you one more thing. If we define this character here, which is known as maybe pound symbol, or maybe you can call it hash. So if we define this particular word and we type in any command, that does not get executed. If you want to type in something before execution, okay. So if you want to like type in something, let us say you want to be like very sure. Let us say you are going to execute any command, and you want to be so sure that that should not get executed accidentally. You can type in your command here ls-lrth, then after the directory whatever you want, you can do that. Then after you can easily remove this, and then after you can hit enter. It means the command will get executed. Clear? But if you type in a particular hash, that becomes a just comment, that is not executable. So this is how we can execute commands very safely. Okay, now let's come on to it. So guys, what I was trying to tell you, there are three roots. Three roots are there. What are? The very first one, which we call it ROOT root. So this is known as a user. The very first one root is known as user. So if I define here like this, so it will not be wrong to say that root is a user. If root is written like this, this is known as a user. Second thing, if root is like written like this slash root, this is home directory of root user. If root is written like this, what will you understand out of it?
Home directory of root user.
Very good. This is home directory of this user. And if only this stuff is written, what will you understand it? This is
Super user.
not super user.
Mount point.
This is a mount point. And you can understand it. Everything Linux begins from here. This is a mount point, and everything in Linux begins from here. Let us say you want to go to temp. You will have to define slash here, slash temp. You want to go to etc. You will have to define slash. You want to go to home. You want to go to root. You will have to define here. It means this is a particular mount point. Like this is a beginning of operating system. This is an entry point. And sometimes some people say that if we have 4 different directories, where we have 4 different disks, so how do we access them? Like what is the particular way to go inside those hard disk, and how do we keep data into that? So do not worry. Let us say it is slash dev, it is slash run, it is slash boot, it is slash boot slash EFI. Whatever is the particular system going to be here, everything is mounted onto slash only. There is a directory created where a different partition. We will come on to it when we will try to understand, and when we will try to learn disk management. So at that moment, I'll explain you what is this happening. But keep this thing in mind. This is mount point, which is known as slash, and everything in Linux begins from here.
This is a major difference from Windows.
Pardon?
This is a major difference from Windows, where we have like CED or different drive names.
Yes.
For
yes.
Whereas in Linux, everything starts from slash.
Yes. Wherever you want to go in Linux operating system, you will have to define slash. Until unless you are you are not going out of your home directory. For example, I'm here, and let us say there are some directory created. I can definitely, let us say there is a command, guys. Obviously, I was supposed to tell you today itself. There is a command known as mkdir. What does that mean? Make directory data. Go inside it. Did I define any slash here? Mkdir, let us say logs. Hit enter. Cd dot. Did I define any slash here? If I want to go out of my home directory, how will I go? Slash temp. Once again, we are back to the same situation. So slash is a kind of mount point which is required to be supplied in order to change your home directory one. Okay, let's go back. So are we clear with this particular thing when I was trying to tell you the difference between three roots? If root is written this way, this is a user. If root is written with slash, this is home directory for this user. And if this is written like this, so this is a mount point and everything begins from here. Okay. So in the meanwhile, guys, just to let you know that how do we what are the three different roots here, like what is user, what is home directory kind of. So I told you one extra command which is known as mkdir. So guys, let us say I want to create a directory data. Then after that, I want to create directory inside it with the name of logs. Then after I want to specify month here. Let us say today is July. Then after I want to define a like year. Then after I want to define here, let us say today's date. What is it? Like let us say 09. Then after I want to define here a server IP, let us say 10.0.0.1. Then after I want to create a folder here. Let us say web server. Okay, so will this command work?
No, if we use mkdir-p, it will work.
Keep this thing in mind. We, like our end target, what our system is trying to understand, that we want to create this particular directory. Right? But our system is saying no such file or directory. Cannot create directory data, logs, July, this. No such file or directory. Why it is saying? Because data is itself not available inside data, logs are not there. So we need to use a particular option -p here. And guys, you might have noticed, I suddenly go back to beginning of the line. I suddenly go to the end of the line. Cursor jumps from beginning to end, right? How does that happen? If I want to go to beginning of the line, I type in control. I keep on pressing control button. Then after I type in A. I come to beginning of the line. If I want to jump to end of the line, I type in control E. Clear? Control A for beginning and control E for ending. Okay, so I need to define here -p. P for create parent directory. So every single time whenever the directory will be created, so I shall be able to see which directories are being created. V for verbose mode. Verbose means, let me show you that once again. No directory available with the name of data. Okay, I removed this V. What happened? Did you get to know like how directories are being created? Did this particular command display the structure that how directories are being created? No? If I define -v here, PV or VP, whatever. First of all, data is created. mkdir created directory. What is the name here? Data. mkdir created directory, data logs. Then after this next directory is created, then this one, then this one, then this one. This is how, like, it executed mkdir command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. If we do not use -v option, it looks like that within a single command, the mkdir command is executed one time and all these directories are created. Like, was it your perception, guys, that command is being executed only at once? Guys, were you aware of it? That if we execute mkdir-p, so command is being executed only once.
No, sir.
Okay. And what if we do not use -v here? Will you get to know? Obviously not. The same way, if I want to remove data for like this particular folder data, rm-rf data. So what would happen? Data will get deleted directly, or like what?
Inside data, everything will be deleted.
Wait, it will look like just opposite to this.
It will delete inter.
So first of all, okay, this directory was created at the very last. The same way, this is deleted at the very first. Because until and unless, okay, let me execute the same command once again. Okay, delete it. And what I want to show you here. Okay, fine. So the way we are going to create it, the same way, the reverse order, we are going to remove the directories. Because if I remove -r means recursive, what it will say, data is a directory. What does that mean? Until unless we define -r option with rm command. rm is the like very critical command. So trust me when I say, if you executed a command rm -rf, then you specify star, it means it will remove everything from this directory and even you may lose your job. So be very careful while you need to delete a complete directory. So you need to do one thing, go a step back. Let us say I want to delete everything from data. What will I do here? The best way to run that command, go back, rm-rf, define temp, then data, now place star. So what it is going to do? End of the day, we are trying to remove everything from inside data. That is what our target was. But earlier we were sitting inside data and we were running that command. So whenever you execute this command, so only your commands get recorded. Only your commands get recorded, but where from you executed this command? Like you were inside temp, you were inside slash, you were inside data, where you were, that thing does not get captured while you execute this command. Well, there are ways in order to capture that as well, but for that we have to enable additional logs. We have to enable additional monitoring of the operating system to capture that thing. But if we execute that command, so guys, is it visible or not when we are trying to delete any data? We need to come or directly back, and then we can define a path where from we want to delete what. No one shall be in a position to say that why did you execute rm-rf* command? Now you have specified a path before it. So guys, if you are working in a production system, so trust me, this is the best way to remove data. Are we clear with that?
What is the difference between rm this command and rmdir?
rmdir is going to delete only one directory, and that too if it is empty.
Okay.
Can you please explain once again, sir? I am a bit confused.
Confused for what?
Like we have to back to the previous directory, then we have to delete the files.
Okay, wait. We are here inside /temp. there is a folder data. I want to remove everything from here. So there are two ways. rm-rf. I can run a command star here. There is nothing left, right? I executed this command. Now, once again, I want to have the same directory structure once again because I'm inside data, so data is not supposed to be defined here. So same directory structure is available. Now, if I want to do the same thing again, so last time what command did I execute? So guys, there is a command known as history which I can use, which I can easily see. I executed a command. First of all, I switched myself to /temp/data. Then I executed this command rm-rf, then asterisk. It means everything from this. Okay, so what I meant to say here is, see, go back one directory before, like you will be inside temp. Now run a command rm-rf. The directory where from you want to delete data, come out of that directory. Right? Now define data, then define asterisk. So in that particular case, it is clearly visible that there is a particular directory known as data, which you are trying to remove, nothing else, or everything inside data you are trying to remove. Over here, this is a kind of blanket statement. No, like if you get to know, let us say you executed this command and let us say like it's been like 100 times you have switched your directories. So at the very first glance, people will doubt that you might have deleted some very important files. Reason being, you were someplace and you have deleted everything from there. But if you are deleting this way, so it means it is clearly being recorded that you are deleting the data from this particular location itself. And moreover, if you want to be more sure of it, define temp, then data, then asterisk. This is the best way and this is the best practice to remove the data from your server. And whenever logs are being captured, so first of all, this directory is being removed, then this, then this, then this, and finally the log directory. So this is how we create and we remove the directory. Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, there was a question like, how do we create hidden files? Obviously, I am not going to go into this particular structure, like what are these folders? I'll not explain it today. Next week, we will for sure discuss. I'm just trying to make you comfortable with the command line. Like, how do we execute very basic commands? We are not configuring anything. We are not managing users. We are not changing the file permission, but yes, basic thing like how do you create directory? How do you remove it? How do you see how the directories are being created? How to create multiple directories? That way I'm trying to. Otherwise, there are many advanced options, which for sure we are going to see in coming sessions. Let us say there is a command known as touch. See the pwd, go to /temp rm-rf /temp and then star. I want to remove everything from this particular folder. If you want to see like what is being deleted, define -v here. So every single directory will be deleted from here. Right? I want to create a file. The command is touch. So guys, what is use of touch command?
For new file.
Create empty files.
Such a black file, sir.
Okay.
Create new empty file.
Very good. Let us say I have created a file abc.txt. What is the timestamp here?
9 July 5/21.
So you will be amazed to see or amazed to know touch is the command which is not only used to create empty files, or maybe touch dot Will it be created? Two files are created with the same name, abc.txt, but the main difference here is this is hidden and this is not. Okay. Although this is very like sort of silly thing to say, but yes, I would like to. Once an interviewer asked me, is Linux case sensitive while creating files? So if I have created abc.txt file this way, so will Linux support touch or not?
Yes.
Yes.
It is case sensitive.
This is support.
And not only this, n number of combination you can create, because every single time whenever you are trying to access any file, you have to define the exact use case. For example, if only B is in caps, A and C are small, so that can also be a use case, like multiple files can be created with these letters only. Sometimes this T can be small, sometimes this can be small, sometimes this can be capital. So there are going to be like hundreds of combinations. But yes, the main thing here is which I wanted to tell you, that we use touch command for creating empty file. Aside to that, what is the timestamp of this particular file?
Same time, sir. Why?
I want to change it. How to change timestamp of a file?
We can use touch command. It also used for changing timestamp.
Yes. So the major purpose to use touch command is not to create empty files, but okay, what is use of empty file when we are not going to keep anything in this? Aside to this particular set, let us say we are just trying to study something here. Aside to this lab, what is additional use of creating empty files? Nothing. But this command, which is known as touch, is especially used to change the timestamp. Let us say I want to keep the timestamp same as it is inside, let us say this particular ls-lrt. LRT, then I would like to add the same timestamp like 2020. I would like to keep the timestamp just like this. Like I want to show that this file ABC, or maybe like a small one, we can pick it. So I want to show that abc.txt was created in 2020, 7th June. This timestamp I want to specify here. How to do that, guys? Touch, then hyphen reference. Reference for what? Why do we use touch command to change the timestamp? Guys, when this file was created?
In 2020.
But I created this file before you, before 10 minutes only.
Yes.
So I hope now you got the idea. Like, why do we use touch command? Touch command is not used to create empty files, but basically it is used to define the timestamp on files. Getting point?
Yes, sir.
And one more thing I would like to tell you. Not only reference, but you can specify exact time as well. And how do you do that? So that is going to be your homework. Touch hyphen help. See. Update the access and modification times of each file. So what is written? Update the access and modification time of each file to the current time. Like if the file has been created in a past, but you want to do, you do not want to do anything, but you want to place a current timestamp. Just define a command touch and then the file name. Okay, so it is not used to create empty files, but let us say touch what it did. It has placed the current timestamp onto this particular file without like modifying data, without doing any other thing. It has just modified the timestamp. What is the timestamp right now? June 7th, 2020. If I run the command touch once again, what will it do? It will place the timestamp. Moreover, let us say if you see that it might be possible that you might have a doubt that whether it is manipulating the data as well or not, kind of. This is for testing. Okay, let's go back. So now if I run the command and now if I read the data, so is data being manipulated here?
No, sir.
Okay, if I run the command touch and then abc.txt, I run the command cat and abc.txt. So is data being manipulated? What is being manipulated here? The timestamp only. So if any file is there where you need to perform this kind of operation, like you need to update the timestamp only, so you can easily use touch command for that. The person who said that touch command is used to create empty files, so let me tell you guys, yes, the statement is right, because let us say if I want to like place current timestamp onto, like, let us say this particular file. So if the file was not there, so first of all, touch command is responsible to create such a file given this particular name, and then we'll place a timestamp on it. So ideally, touch is just doing its work for updating the timestamp. But if the file itself does not exist, so it will create the file and then place timestamp. Are we clear with that? So the statement itself is not wrong that touch command is used to create empty files. But the fact here is it is being used to update the timestamp of it. That is why. Okay. So you can see here change the access time only. Now, what does it mean? What is the access time? There is a command on it, stat. Now, what is it? So guys, there are different time. Okay, let me run the command once again here. What is the timestamp on this? 7th June 2020.
abc.txt.
But if I want to know, is it the real time when the file was created? Because when I understand that the company itself was not started, let us say I'm part of an organization, and when I know that the organization for what I'm working, that itself was not started in 2020, that was originated maybe in 21 or 22. So how can this file be created in 2020? I want to know the reality of it. Just run the command stat and the file name. It will tell you everything. Birth. The actual time when the file was created. And even before, and even microseconds it is going to tell, like, because it is showing time in epoch. Okay. Then after change, when file was changed at this particular time. Modify. So if you remember, I modified the file at this time when I placed some data inside it. Remember that? Moreover, it is showing like when it was accessed last. This is right. So just with first glance, it is not necessary that what you see is the reality. There are some additional commands using which you can easily identify. Why I'm telling you, because let us say if you are like you're kind of appointed to work as an auditor, or you are supposed to provide evidence to auditors in the real time. So how would you be able to say, let us say someone has shared evidences and you personally feel that these evidences are fake or these are manipulated one. So how will you be able to prove that these are not manipulated? You can easily showcase it, that the file was created at this time, and right now the particular time which is implemented on this is this one. Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
So these particular commands like touch command, so sometimes users try to manipulate the data, and being auditor or being supportive to auditor, you can ask the person, you can ask that person to share the data with this particular format, that please share the stat of that particular file. So it is going to tell you everything, what is file name, file size, even you can identify that inode, how many links are created to that file, is that a regular file or binary file, what is IO block size, then after what is the particular device, like physical address of that file onto that particular disk. Each and every piece of information is available and is very handy to you. Moreover, what is current permission of that particular file. So rather than running LL command, you can run stat command. Are we clear with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions so far? The kind of commands we have executed. These are the commands.
Stat command can be used for folders also.
For everything. We can use stat command for everything, whatever we want. So guys, what I'm going to do now is I am going to create a file here. Let me create a new, let me go to new terminal. Desktop VIM. What is the date today? 09/07 hyphen what? 23.txt. And I'm going to share these with you.
Yes, sir.
How to attach file here?
Lokesh, you can save the file and
No, file I have saved, but I'm very new to it. Like,
yeah, can you go to chat again?
done.
Very.
Okay. So yes, guys, it is your time to ask questions if you have any. Because yesterday we completed 1 hour 43 minutes. Today we have completed 2 hours 5 minutes. And next week, for sure, we will cover 3 hours. Or if you want to know any specific thing, then definitely we can discuss. Because next time I'm going to explain this particular stuff. Like why do we have these many directories? What are use cases of each one? If any specific requirement is there to have these many directories, how directories should be created. Moreover, when we have a plan to install an operating system, so how many different partitions should be created? So everything we are going to discuss. So I hope that we shall not be able to cover everything today itself. So that's why I would want you guys that obviously we will cover this within next session. Now this is the time for you to ask questions. Any question, any feedback for the session, guys?
I have questions, sir.
Please go ahead.
Sir, we are typing the comments like ls and some other comments, right? how does the operating system know this is a command for to bring, for example, you are typing ls command, so it will showing all list of files and things. But how does the operating system know this is the command for this is the purpose of?
Okay, there is a particular command known as what is. Okay, now what is man? Make there is a command known as what is. So this command can help you to understand like what is this command, and the same way Linux system itself understands that why and what is the purpose of this command. Let us say if we go to /usr bin directory and you run ls command here, it is going to list all the executable binaries. So every single command, keep this thing in mind, every single file which is kept here is considered to be a executable binary. These many commands are available here, guys. These many commands are available. So executable files are kept here inside usr bin folder, and there are two locations which are used in order to keep executable binary. So the very first location here is /usr bin, and second is ls-l /-l. I missed that particular sbin. The difference here is all the executable binaries which are kept inside sbin, or maybe you can look here for /usr/sbin as well. Same thing. So guys, keep this thing in mind. All the executable binaries which are kept inside /usr. Okay. So these executable binaries are supposed to be executed by only administrators, not the normal user. Whatsoever commands are kept here, these commands can be executed by a super user or the person who has privileges equal to root user. Let me show you how. Let us say there is a command known as user add. Very basic command I'm going to tell you. Let us say Tom. Now I want to execute the same command, user add. I want to define, let us say David. What does it say?
Permission denied.
If I want to know what is exact location of this command, where is it? Is here usr sbin user add. What did I tell you? That every single command which is kept inside /usr sbin, that cannot be executed by a normal user until and unless it says that yes, I have privilege equal to root. The person will define your sudo that now I have like escalated privileges and I should be granted to perform this operation. Only then the person should be able to. So there are two locations where executive binaries are kept. Either it is /usr bin or /usr sbin. So sbin is reserved or is limited to administrators only, or for those users who have rights equal to administrator. Right, guys? Second thing, it is /usr bin. Let me go here /usr bin. RNLL command is whatever command you say, I can type in. Let us say I want to run a command. Who am I? I can do that. vmstat, w, wait, wall, watch, any command, whatever are available here. Touch, top, tput, anything, whatever are available here, a normal user can execute, and those commands which are not available here, those are executable by system admins only. And one more thing, usually people get confused with this. So all the commands which can be executed by a normal person, super user can definitely execute all the commands. It means super user has some additional powers to do some extra stuff. So when I say that the particular files which are kept here, okay, /usr/sbin, so these are executable by super user root. So I do not mean to say that these commands cannot be executed by user root. Root can access both the locations. Let us say /usr bin and /usr sbin. User root can execute all the commands wherever these are placed. So please do not take my statement in some other way when I say that these commands are reserved for root only. So normal user cannot execute these commands, but super user can execute these commands plus these commands. Are we clear with that, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is how system understands that this is executable binary file. And yes. So any other question or feedback, guys, for the session which we have gone through today?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Abhijit.
Sir, what is the practical purpose of changing timestamp?
Very true. A very nice question. Guys, any statement on this? What could be the purpose of changing timestamp? Anyone?
No idea, sir.
See, once again, the situation goes back to audit and compliances. Most of time, auditors do not check up to that in that like depth level. They do not go up to like stat command and all. So sometime if data is not that critical, or might be we want to supply kind of manipulated data. So in that particular case, these timestamps are changed. But if auditor is that much smart that the person knows stat as well, then it is of no use. For audit and compliance purposes, this sort of data stats like timestamps are changed.
Sir, so in terms, it is for malicious activity only.
Yes. But sometimes there could be some generic reason as well. Let us say you were performing your daily BAU. You might have deleted a file. You had a backup of it. Now you feel that the particular file has been deleted and you to backup of it. Someone will say that why did you delete it? So you can change the timestamp. The person will never ever get to know until that much smart like you. Restore backup, change the timestamp, and that is it. So you will need a person smarter than you in order to find the fault which you have done, and you have rectified that as well.
Okay.
And it will not be practically possible until unless you study in really detail. Okay, guys. So any feedback for the session, guys, if you have?
Yeah, very good teaching, sir. Nice, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
It was very detailed.
Excellent, sir.
Thank you, Ji. Anything which you want like that should be improved?
Yes, madam.
Keshav, any suggestion for an improvisation?
So if you can tell us the agenda for next class.
Sir, today we not cover yum install and other command situations.
Wait, so we will follow this particular sequence. Because right now, let me share the particular text here itself, the kind of thing which we are going to cover. We will go this particular way. So obviously we have the kind of agenda like Linux command line introduction. right?
Yeah, sir, just you follow command dnf install /bin.
Okay, that particular will be covered here because I was looking for a command which I frequently use. So I tried to install kind of software into that, but obviously that was not right time. So that's why I did not explain. That is part of this.
Okay.
Sir, will you cover OSA model and TCP/IP?
So that is network part. But yes, if you guys are not much aware of that, so definitely I can cover that part as well because I know.
Thanks, sir. Nice session, sir.
Yeah. The
Sir,
session
where
is-
can I find the recordings of the session?
So I'll upload it to YouTube. And this will be the last recording.
I already shared
I
your
have a
last recording
question.
to group, sir.
Okay, not a problem. Yes, Ben.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I was wondering if we can ask question outside the topics we covered. Is there a way we can do that too?
Yes, I'll explain it to you separately. Don't worry.
Thank you.
So guys, I have shared the agenda with you, like how what are the topics we are going to cover within next session. So I hope that will help you to be ready a little. If you want to go for studying by yourself, you can